They say that New Yorkers are always angry, and that might be true. But there's a reason for that. It's because we've seen the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's New Jersey. So today we're making disco fries. Don't confuse it with disco rice. That's something completely different, and do not Google it. Trust me. Or Google it and have some fun. But disco fries, completely unrelated to rice, are something that was eaten after they went out dancing at the disco all night. You're out there, you're shaking your butt. Now you're hungry, so you go to the diner and you have disco fries. And it's pretty simple. It's kind of like the Canadian poutine. It's French fries, gravy, and cheese. But instead of using cheese curd, they use a melty cheese like mozzarella and provolone and muenster, which are the three cheeses I'm using today. This is absolutely delicious, absolutely simple. Let's get it done. So the first thing we're going to do is address our potatoes. I got 4 large russet potatoes, comes in at just under 3 pounds. And what we're going to do is cut one cheek off about 1/2 inch, then flip it onto that cut side. I'm going to cut 1/2 inch planks, I guess. And then I'm going to cut those into 1/2 inch logs. I guess we're going from planks to logs. Are we talking wood here? I don't know. So we're going to cut them 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, and then I like to cut them in half because I don't like my fries to be too long. I like them thick, but not too long. That's my preference. Some people like them long and thick. Some people like them short and thick. Some people like them long and skinny. Hey, you know what? This is not going anywhere fast, so 1/2 inch square fries is my preference. You can cut them as thick as you'd like. Anyway, so get them cut. Once they're cut, you're going to put them into a bowl of water. And once they're all cut, you're going to change that water out once or twice to get the excess starch off. Do this to all of your potatoes. Once your potatoes are all cooked, they're in the water. We're going to heat up, I guess that's I think it's a 5-quart pot that I have just shy of halfway full of canola oil, heated to 325 degrees. You can use this in a deep fryer according to your deep fryer specifications, but 325 degrees. We're going to pat our fries dry. You don't want the excess water. It's going to cause the oil to spit, pop, and get crazy. We don't want that. 325, get them in. It's going to be 7 to 9 minutes. All we're doing now is worrying about cooking the potato. We don't want to worry about browning it. We don't want to worry about getting it crisp. We just want to get that potato cooked. That's the key. Give it a stir so they don't stick, because they will stick if you don't stir. And there you go. After your 7 to 9 minute cook, you may have a little bit of golden brown on there. That's a-okay. It's going to get a little crispier when we do the second fry. Continue this with all of your fries in batches until they're done, drained on a wire rack. Just like that. Now, once all of our fries are cooked for the first round, we're going to address our gravy. We're going to measure out 1 tablespoon of neutral flavored oil. Canola is my jam, so that's 1 tablespoon of the canola oil. We're going to get that in medium to medium high heat. You don't want it super hot. We're going to get that oil hot. Then we're going to add in 1 medium shallot that we have diced. Just like that. We're going to stir it. And we're going to cook this just for a few minutes until it gets translucent, soft, and beautifully fragrant. I really love the smell of shallots being cooked. There's just, it's like, it's got a garlicky, oniony smell. It's amazing. So once that's nice and soft, we're going to go with 1 tablespoon of freshly chopped garlic. Doesn't have to be too fine. It's going to go into gravy and almost disappear. So get it in. You can lower the heat a little bit. We don't want our garlic to burn. We don't want it to brown. We just want it to soften and get beautifully fragrant. So stir it up. Once your garlic is soft, we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of butter. You can use salted, you can use unsalted, it doesn't really matter. We're going to adjust seasoning later on, and you will most likely have to add salt even if you use salted butter. So use what you got, let it melt, adjust the heat if necessary. You don't want it to burn. Once the butter's fully melted, we're going to add 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And we're going to stir it in, get that flour wet with the fat that's in there, and we're just going to cook it for a few minutes till that raw flour flavor is gone. We don't want to cook this roux too far. We want that thickening power. The longer you cook a roux, the darker it gets, the more flavorful it gets, but the less the thickening power. So a blonde roux is more thickening as opposed to a red brick roux. Anyway,
Once you have that raw flour flavor cooked out, after about a minute or so, 2 minutes, we're going to start adding in our beef broth. Stream it in, whisk it in. You don't want any lumps, and just get it fully, thoroughly incorporated. You could raise the heat up just a little bit to, just over medium to medium high. That's fine. But the key thing is you just want to mix it well so you don't have any lumps. Get it all in there. There you go, buddy. Give it a good mixy mix. Now we're going to go in with 1 teaspoon of Whores of the Shire sauce. So get that in there. Then we're going to go in with 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Make sure you give that a mix, because otherwise the pepper just clumps up, and that's not good eating, my friends. Now, this is optional. I like my gravy a little on the darker side, so you can use Gravy Master or a Kitchen Bouquet, one of those things. Doesn't really add much flavor, adds a little bit of salt. It's not a very strong flavor, but it makes it a little dark. I don't like the gravy when it's too light. I think it's just an aesthetic and appearance thing. Again, this is optional. Make it as light or as dark as you want. There's no wrong answer unless you really just screw something up. Get that mixed in well, and now we're just going to heat this, stirring often to constantly until it thickens up. And that's what we want. We want a nice thick gravy, just like that. It's beautiful. Make sure you check for seasoning. And once your gravy's good to go, we're going to keep that warm. We're going to raise our oil temperature to 425 degrees, and then we're going to give our fries a second go-round in the bathtub. This is going to crisp them and brown them, and they're going to be beautiful. Now, this takes about 5 minutes or so. Keep an eye on it and cook it to your preferred level of doneness. I don't like my fries overly crispy. I'm a greasy fry kind of guy. So I took these out before they were kind of really crunchy. But they were a nice, beautiful golden brown. They were absolutely delicious on their own. Now, once you scoop these out, you put them on the wire rack. You want to sprinkle some salt on them right away, so the salt sticks. That's very important. If you wait till they cool down a little bit, salt's just going to bounce off and it's not going to do anything. Once your fries are cooked, time to put everything together. So in our little dish, you can do a whole pan of this all in one shot, or you can do individual servings like I am. Get your fries in the bottom, arrange them beautifully, then go in there with some gravy. Be generous, use as much as you'd like. The more the merrier is what I always say. So gravy it up. Oh, this was so good. Now, cheese. Use a melting cheese. You can use any cheese you want. First, I laid down a slice of provolone, then a slice of muenster, then a slice of mozzarella. Then it's going to go under the broiler until it is browned and bubbly and beautiful and delicious, and it looks a little something like that. Look at how good that looks. If I was served that in any diner, I would be the happiest fat guy in the world.
Look at that. Look at it. It's beautiful. This plate's kind of hot. These fries are exactly the way I like them. The cheese, which has now been sitting for a few minutes, is still kind of melty. Cheese pull for days. Go to the moon. Gravy on there. I'll be a slob anchor. That was delicious. Is it better than poutine? I don't know. That's up for debate. All I can tell you is they are both absolutely delicious. We're going to make poutine in a future episode. I got to get the right cheese curd for that. But this was absolutely delicious. Try making this out. If you have fond memories of going to the disco and then having disco fries, hey, drop that down in the comments. You got any related story about late night food that you ate after the bar? Drop that down in the comments. If you want to see me make something, if you have a suggestion, drop that down in the comments. You want to tell me I suck and I'm ugly and I have a stupid haircut? Drop that down in the comments. By the way, it's not a haircut. I'm growing my hair back for a reason, which I'll talk about later. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit that like button, and we will catch you on the next one. So there you go. Disco fries. Is it better than the Canadian poutine? Well, I mean, if it didn't come from New Jersey, I would say absolutely yes. I may not like New Jersey. It's America's armpit. Florida is America's flaccid penis.